We've all been there, the dating Antichrist. It's so good when it's good, and then it's so bad when it's bad. You break up, and you know they're not good for you, but there's this gravitational pull. Somehow, some way, they end up back in your life, and then you break up again. Then you get back together again, and then you break up. You can't escape them. That's called the dating Antichrist, and Mo's friend knows exactly who this is.
It's exactly what my dude is going through. I think this man genuinely has the absolute worst luck in the world when it comes to dating and women. He just cannot get it right. And this most recent incident that he's faced kind of proves that exactly by what I mean by that. So he was dating this girl, and I told y'all about this. I don't know if you remember, but he liked her, and it started to go well. I think they were 6 months in at that time, and I was happy for him because finally it seemed like something was actually like efficient in his life. And at some point, she told him, if we are not at this place where she wanted some type of progression, whatever that progression was. He wasn't exactly sure what she meant by that because she didn't want marriage per se, but she at least wanted to feel as if they were going in that direction. And she needed it by a certain day.
Some level of commitment.
Right. And I think it was like January 13th. It was like a real specific day for her. And he didn't know why that day, but that's what she wanted. And so he came to me and he asked me what I thought about it. And I was like, well, if you already feel like it's going that way, then what's the problem?
So she vocalized that it wasn't like a line in the sand day she had in her head. So she vocalized
it.
So she gave him an ultimatum.
Right. And so I told him what I felt like that was her way of basically saying it's either going to be this or I'm done. But if I'm being honest, I didn't think she was actually going to stop talking to him at that date. But I think it was just her way of trying to get what she can get out of him. He didn't know what to do. So he told her, like, he just got out of a 15-year relationship before he started talking to her. So as much as he liked her within that 6 months, he just wasn't looking to jump into something too serious too soon. So when that day came, he never heard from her again. Like, she stood on business and never hit him up. They hadn't spoke. He just stopped hearing from her. So I said, well, yeah, move on with your life.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's right.
Cool. That's what, you know what I mean? Can't even be mad at her. So about 3 months go by now, and I think she had reached out to text him maybe a time here or there, and he admitted that it was, like, tough on him to completely stop talking to her because he missed her. So I told him, I was like, I think it's more difficult for you if you continue to, like, have any type of form of contact with her. It's probably easier if you just stop.
For sure.
So I've heard people say sometimes you got to block somebody, not really for them, but more for you so that you won't reach out. So I told him to try that, and he did. He blocked her on everything. But he didn't block her immediately. Like, it was about 3 months after they stopped talking that he finally blocked her. So after that, he's been talking to someone else. It just started. It's not really serious. It's been casual, but he likes her also. The very first night, I guess, this is like their fourth date, and this is the first night that he invites her over to his place. And everything is going well. They're watching a movie, doing whatever they're doing. And he starts to hear, like, his doorbell go off. He's not expecting anyone. Doorbell goes off again. He ignores it. Like, it's late. I don't know what this could be. Then he gets a notification on his ring, and someone's at the door. It's the line in the sand girl. He has not seen her in like 4 months. No contact at all. And he's at home with this new girl that he's now dating, and she's at his door, banging on his door, cursing him out, asking, why did you block me?
What are the odds of all that, like, the timing of that? Like, it's like out of a freaking movie. And the universe does have a hilarious sense of humor.
Oh, man. The best sense of humor.
Just the fact that he has a girl over there and she's showing up at that moment at his doorstep.
Or she was stalking the place out a couple of different times and then knew that he had a girl over there, and that's when she decided to knock on the door.
Yeah, that screams someone planted hidden cameras in the house.
That's what the conversation turned into with us, of me asking him, like, do you think she would do that? He doesn't think so, but how do you know?
It's I firmly believe it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, all the time of the day, any days in the week, weeks in the month.
Yeah, no, seriously. I feel like the universe sometimes, I mean, there's been times when I'm like, I don't understand, how would this person cross my paths? Like, why were we here at the same time doing that? Like, and I'm just like, why? I don't think she was tracking him. He had just blocked her, right? And so now she realizes she's blocked, And so he has a girl over his house and she shows up. I really honestly think it was purely coincidental, but it's highly
I do too.
entertaining nonetheless.
This is what adds to being a dating antichrist. They show up at the perfect worst moment.
Yes.
So the worst part of it is not even the fact that she showed up, because he went out there, he spoke to her, she left, and it's been like a couple of weeks since it happened, and I don't think that he's heard from her again. But he also hasn't heard from the girl he was dating again.
Oh, man.
Because he can't convince her that the situation is what it is because of what it looks like. So she thinks that he's lying and that this girl is always in his life. So the old girl that didn't want to date him anymore ruined the new girl that he did want to date. And that's what I mean by this dude has the worst dating luck ever.
And that's what makes her the dating antichrist.
She won't
Even when
go
they're
away.
not together, they leave a wake of destruction behind them.
100%.
The Bert Show.